is the only country on earth where fetal stem cell therapy is legal and regulated.
And then learning that stem cells is the only place in the world you can actually get those, I was on board.
It's scary, like, to bring a child into the world and not know that you have a reliable method of healing if your disease gets worse. The stem cell treatment in Ukraine it's my safety net. If something happens to him, we're going to Ukraine immediately.
I can enjoy my life. I can enjoy being me again, which I felt had slipped away. Like, I'd look in the mirror and I didn't know who I was looking at because any joy that I had was gone. I can write, I can paint, I can play guitar again, whereas before this, I couldn't. So, it changed my life.
I asked his speech therapist and I said to her, I'm like, is he ever going to talk? And she was like, the way things are going, I don't think so.
Now, like, he talks so much, like, it's like, can you be quiet for a second? Like, you know.
So when I've seen my neurologist and I told him that after my first trip to Ukraine that I had gone there, the first reaction was dismissal. It was, well, you should have told me, I would have told you you were wasting your time and money. But the last time he's seen me, he told me, he says, well, after all, maybe that treatment did you good.
You can plan on, by the time she's 7 or 8 in a wheelchair, feeding tube because they don't have an appetite. They'll have a rod in their back because of scoliosis. At night, she'd have oxygen to help her breathe because the lungs, it affects the lungs in a big way. And so that's really what we were looking at. And now she's 13, 9 years later, and she's thriving.
Yeah, she's completely stable. And Sophia is 100% independent.
We just wish it wasn't so far. So why do we have to go so far?
They would never do this treatment in the United States.
The #1 prescription in America is thyroid medication. And guess what you don't need to take if you get fetal stem cells? You don't need to take your thyroid medication. At least I don't.
We flew into Poland, and we're on this train.
I entered a war zone to get the treatment.
I feel privileged to have gotten here, and it was worth the trek, even with the danger element, and I would do it again.
We have to go across the world for something that helps. Not just us, but lots and lots of families and individuals. Shame on somebody.
Case of aplastic anemia. This was a child, and he was completely dependent on the blood transfusions, completely. Once per week, blood transfusion, and this kept him alive. In about 2 months, he rapidly flourished after this treatment. This was amazing, and this was what we made. Wow.
This is Dr. Alexei Karpenko and Dr. Alexander Smigadou. They are two of the earliest pioneers of fetal